arrange the pennies on the game board that you have. It goes from 2 to 12. I'm going to roll 2 dice. And if I rolled, for instance, a 2, and you had your pennies set up this way, you'd take a 2 off. And your goal is to take all your pennies off before the other people get their pennies off the board. So you're trying to get your pennies off as fast as possible. So please arrange your pennies in a way that you think is going to get them off the board really quickly. So I'm going to pause for a second while people do that. So I'm going to be rolling a die here, and I've rolled 2 dice, and I have a 9. Anybody that has a 9, take it off. And next number, 4. Next number is a 2. And here comes a 5. I'm going to pause for a while we finish this. Okay, so we had a winner, and as I look back at the data, it looks like 7s weren't real fantastic, but 6s were really good, and 8s were pretty good. So, you know, adjust your strategy accordingly. And we'll start playing again. It is possible that a person could cheat, and if they are that excited about winning a piece of candy corn, that would be pretty sad. All right, here we go. We're going to start again. Got your pennies on there? Okay, good. Here we go. 7, lucky 7. 11. So we have our next winner now. And the board is shaping up to be kind of heavy in the middle, if you haven't noticed that. All right, we're going to arrange your pennies one more time. Some of you like how you were doing it, just going to stick with it. Some of you are adjusting, trying some different strategies. There's good mathematical reason for how you could lay these out. And but then again, there's always just plain luck. Luck always factors in, or random chance. We'll be talking more about that as we deal with probabilities. So here comes the first one, 6. 6s have been hot. All right, let's go with 8. Now how about a 7, lucky 7? How about a 6? Noticing a lot of happy people because you were counting on those middle ones now. You're getting smart. 7, lucky 7. And next we have a 6. I'm going to pause while we finish this. We had another winner. So as you look back at what happened, do you see how the middle is sort of pretty popular with the rolls and the outside edges aren't as popular? Now, there were some exceptions. We had 3 11s, and mathematically, we probably shouldn't have had that many. And we had a couple 2s, and we probably should only had 1. And the reason, some of you guys are putting this together, the reason is that the middle is more popular is that 7s come up more, and 6s come up more than, for instance, 3s do. But on your sheet, I'd like you, now that you wipe the pennies off of it, to write it small so that it'll fit. Write the combos that will make each number. Like, for instance, a 2 is made up of a 1-1, a 1 and a 1. A 3 is made up of a 2 and a 1, and this is counterintuitive for some of you. It is not the same as a 1 and a 2. They're different, and so you got to write them down twice. Think of it as one. The first die you roll is like a red die, and the second die you roll is like a blue die. If the red die is a 1 and the blue die is a 2, that's different than the red die being a 2 and the blue die being a 1. So it's different. So you have to write them down twice. Good question. The next one has a double. 4 has 2 and 2, and you don't write it twice because the 2 is on both dice, so you can't change it. It's not different to have a 2 and a 2 and a 2 and a 2. It's not different. It's the same thing. So then go to get a 4, we can have a 3 and a 1 and a 1 and a 3. You see how it's kind of building up as we move towards the middle? Keep on doing it. I'm going to skip some because you guys are faster than me. 7. This is the kind of the classic bell curve. If you continue your pattern, you'll see it sort of looks like a big bell. Now my bell is pretty ugly, but kind of like a triangle, except not. It's more curved. Wish I had a perfect one to show you, but I don't. And the point is that we're talking about probabilities here that are, when we're talking about probability, we're saying we have the favorable outcomes over the possible outcomes. And when you roll 2 dice, all of these things we listed are the things that are possible. Count them quick. Has anybody already counted them? Guess. Yes, that's a logical number. 36, good guess. It comes out to 36 possible combos. So there are 36 things that can happen when you roll 2 dice. You might have thought, well, wait a minute, the only things you can happen are 2, 3, 4, 5, up through 12. But it's these different combos, like a 1 and a 2 is different than a 2 and a 1. All right? So, here, some of my numbers got erased. I'll rewrite them in. So there are 6 ways to get a 7. So that means the probability of getting a 7 is 6 out of 36. What is the probability of getting a 2, though? 1 out of 36. That's why they don't come up that often. What's the probability of getting a 12? There's only one way to get it, out of 36. You get the idea? All right. So let's say that you and your little brother, and he doesn't know how to, how dice work. Would it be pretty easy to convince him that, like, I'll take 6, and you can have, like, 2, and you can have 12. You only have one number where you win, and he has 2 numbers where he wins. And it would seem like, you'd have your brother would have a good chance of beating you. But if you look at this combo and say, you get 7, whenever 7 comes up, you win, or 6, or some other number that comes up a lot. And he gets, like, 2 and 12. Well, he's only got 2 chances to win out of 36. And 7 alone has 6 chances to win out of 36. So you'd have a much better chance of winning, even though he has 2 numbers and you only have 1. So this is the kind of thing that people in Las Vegas do to try to make you lose money. They'll have you bet on things that seem to you like they're fair, but they're not fair, and they have an advantage. Yes? 7 actually, a lot of people consider a lucky number, but in Las Vegas, when you roll a 7 in the game of craps, which is the main game that has 2 dice out there, when you roll a 7 on the very first roll, if you can do it on the first roll, you win. But any roll after that, your second roll or your third or your fourth or your fifth, any roll after that, whenever a 7 is rolled, house wins. They rake in everything on the table. Okay? There's some exceptions. You can bet on kind of the opposite, like you can bet on getting a 7, but that's any other bet on the table gets raked into the house. The house wins. It's called craps. So if you roll a 7, that's craps. There's another number that you can roll that's crappy for you too. But the house wins when the 7 comes up. And big surprise, they picked 7 because it comes up the most. So they win a lot. And sure, people win in Las Vegas because otherwise nobody'd want to go there. But some people will win. Say 4 people go out together. Maybe one of them ends up winning for the weekend and the other 3 lose. Somebody has to win or nobody ever go back. So, but the odds are stacked against you. All right. So that's just a little reminder of 2 dice. We're going to refer to 2 dice problems a lot. And you got to know that there's 36 possible outcomes. And now I can ask you things like, what's the probability of rolling a 3 or a 4? And you could just put these 2 together and say, oh, there's 5 things out of 36. All right. So now you're capable of doing the 2 problems on the back side of the worksheet from yesterday. And now that's part of your assignment for today is to finish yesterday's worksheet. And I'll tell you the rest on the next video.